Y'all, what is wrong with Karen? Like, literally. What is wrong? What is wrong with Karen, y'all? Listen, I know it's late, but we got to talk about this. It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about Sistas season. I didn't even introduce myself. I was so annoyed by Karen this episode. Y'all, we're about to get into Sistas season 6, episode 9, True Colors. Let's just talk about it. Let's get into it, shall we?
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Woes. So we are coming in with a force. Yeah, blessings they are reap and we coursing on.
Y'all, Fatima rolled up to Karen's house, and I just knew it was going to be a rumble in the jungle, okay? Listen, I have seen people on the internet saying Fatima shouldn't have been up in there, that Fatima should have did this, Fatima should have did that. If y'all had somebody saying, I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open so you can climb on top of me in this clowning negligee that Karen had on. Child, please, okay? Please. You would have been at that door too. You would have been right at that door to let her know to leave your man alone, okay? So, y'all, the episode started off with Fatima coming up in there and really surprising Miss Karen and her clan, okay? She let her know. So you thought Zach was coming, huh? Oh, yeah, but I came here to tell you to leave my man alone, okay? So Karen is getting up, calling Fatima everything but a child of God, okay? So then she says something about, y'all catch I wonder if y'all caught the shade that Fatima threw at Andy, okay? I wonder if you caught the shade that Fatima threw at Andy. So Karen tells Andy to get Fatima out of there. Okay. She kept telling her to get her up out of there. And Andy is like, Fatima, I'm your boss. You know, you cannot be here. You should not be here right now. And then Karen says something to the effect of somebody messing with coworkers or whatever the case may be. And Fatima said, oh no, that's what Andy does. Matter of fact, that's what all of y'all do. That's what all y'all do. I was like, wait a minute. Fatima, not you up here shading all the sisters, and especially Andy. I'm like, baby. Fatima said, I got a bazooka for all you. Okay, all of you can get it. Okay, because I ain't got time. Y'all sitting up here playing around and pacifying this crazy chick. Okay, I done told you. Yes, she is for play crazy. I am crazy for real. Okay, Fatima is like, listen, I ain't got time for this stuff. So of course Zach pops up. So Zach is looking at Fatima like, girl, what is you doing here? What is you doing here? I told you not to be. She was like, what you doing here? Because I thought, like, literally, I put it on you so good. You should have been you should have been out for the rest of the night. Yeah, you know what you thought that he was going to come over here for you to do? Oh, no, baby. I do it well. Okay. Fatima is looking at Karen like, girl, I done already put it on him. He is not thinking about you. Okay. And he was never coming over here. Never coming over here. And Karen is like, Andy, get her out of my house. Get her out of my house. Mind you, Andy is continuously telling Fatima that she needs to leave. But I don't know if Karen expected Andy to body slam Fatima or what. Karen is in this moment having some unrealistic expectations of people around her because her delusions of grandeur have gone so beyond her head and way bigger than her belly is ever supposed to be on this show from this imaginary pregnancy that she got going on. So Fatima says, I'm not leaving until I say what I have to say. She said, he doesn't want you. Stop trying to throw yourself on him and don't be telling him to come over here and put it up on you again, because then we're going to have a serious problem. And the only thing keeping me from getting up on you is the fact that you got that baby inside you. And she's talking about, well, Zach, tell her it's our baby. Tell us it's your baby. Tell her it's your baby or whatever. So she throws some envelope. And she's like, look at it, look at it. And Zach is ignoring her. At this point, Zach is like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get my girl up out of here. I don't want to see that paper. This part of the scene kind of confused me because I was wondering why Zach wouldn't look at the envelope. Okay. Why didn't he pick it up and look at it? What was Karen trying to get him to do? Like, was she trying to make it seem like he was paying her more attention in that moment than Fatima again, like he did at the hair salon when he thought that Karen was unalived? I don't really know what Karen was seeking from Zach in that moment. I was really, really confused. But in that moment, it showed to me that Zach was more concerned with Fatima's emotions and them looking like they have more of a united front in front of Karen. And then Karen kept on telling him, tell her you said you love me. Tell her you love me, Zach. Tell her what you said. And yeah, just like your peen was all hard under the table. And we did it in the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. And Zach was like, girl, we did that 3 years ago. Girl, get your crazy tail on. You is over here in crazy town, okay? Girl, you is lying. We didn't do none of that. Now, Zach, I'm going to have to gather you and get you all together because I hope that coffee shop was just close to the shop and that's why y'all went there. Why y'all go to that coffee shop? You know that when you dealing with dingbats, you can't give crazy people an inch because they will take 10,000 miles. And Karen is absolutely numb in the brain right now. It's pinky in the brain going on. It's extremely crazy. It's crazy town. So Zach says, please, Fatima, can we go? So, of course, Aaron shows up. Y'all, I'm about tired of Aaron, too. Why do you keep on popping up all the time? Do you not have anything else to do besides pop up like a jack in the box looking for daggone Karen every chance you get? You was just in the coffee shop where Pam was talking to the other chick, getting your rocks off with her. So you over here playing with her emotions, but stalking Karen. This is borderline stalkerage right now. It's crazy. So he comes in there, Karen, are you okay? You have to be careful. We don't want to upset you don't want to hurt your body and the baby and everything. First of all, that man knows that that's his baby. If y'all don't think that Aaron did not get the yes, it's your baby from that doctor, you got another thing coming. Aaron knows that doctor, and the doctor was the one that got the DNA test. And if anything, I feel like Aaron would have made the doctor some kind of way where if it wasn't his baby, it is his baby. Okay, if you catch my drift. But Aaron knows that that's his baby. I'm pretty sure he does. So Aaron is like, Zach, get out of here. And Danny is like, well, what the hell you doing here? Because why do people just keep on coming over people's house and don't tell them that they coming? Like, what in the world? So Aaron, Zach, and Fatima finally leave out. Okay. So the sisters are in there. And Karen is going off. She is losing her mind more than she already has. She's like, y'all get out of here. I want y'all to leave. And they're like, oh, Karen, we love you. We're not going anywhere. And Danny was like, y'all sat up in my house and talked all that trash. I'm definitely going to invade your space too. Definitely staying here. Definitely. Because you guys made me leave my house. Okay. So I'm going to stay here because we're going to make sure that you're good. Okay. So then Karen has the nerve to come out of her mouth and say to Andy, you got to pick between me and Fatima. It's me or her. And I would have been like, well, looky. What we not going to do is have you telling me a grown woman at that, you over here messing with letting this grown man come in between y'all. But I'm a grown woman. You will not tell me who to be friends with, sweetie. Okay? Heck no. I don't know if this baby done gone to your brain, but what you're not about to do is tell me what to do. That's not what you ever going to do to me. And Andy is like, I feel like I can be friends with both of y'all. Like, that's not what you're not about to tell me who to be friends with. Like, that ain't okay. And even Danny and Sabrina are like, oh no, Karen, don't say that. Listen, I am sick and tired of them sitting there pacifying Karen. And Karen, even when Fatima was in it, she was like, you trying to make me lose this baby. Nobody's trying to make you lose no baby, sis. You trying to make yourself lose this baby because you up here acting like a plumb fool. And you telling your friend, I really don't understand what she thought Andy was supposed to do. Andy kept telling Fatima to leave. Andy even pulled the I'm your boss card to get Fatima to leave, and that didn't work. I don't know if little mini Karen thinks she is gangsta boot in a little skinny squirrel body, but girl, child, you are just crazy and deranged at this point. I cannot with Karen. So Karen is like, y'all get out, get out, get out. Like she's going crazy. So then she goes in her room because she's throwing enough tantrums and with no belly, no baby bump, but a big attitude. So her friends are in the house and they're like, we can't leave her like this. Like, oh my gosh, we have to take shifts. Somebody's got to watch her. Danny is like, I'm looking at these damn results. So Danny picks up the envelope, and the envelope, she pulls out the piece of paper. Ain't nothing on the damn piece of paper. Child, mind you, I was over here screaming at the screen. I said, Tyler Perry, if you drag this out, I'm telling you, I cannot deal with it. So I'm so glad that Danny actually picked that, because I was literally, y'all, I was screaming at the screen. I was like, if we drag this out for another episode, I can't take no more. So when she pulled the envelope out and saw that she said, it's a blank piece of paper. There's nothing in there. She said, I'm not playing with her. You know what? Danny says, I'm going on my date because I'm going to go on in there and drag her little skinny, little not pregnant behind up and beat her tail, because I'm not about to keep on playing these games with Karen. Y'all sit here and play with her. Bye. I got to go. Okay? So then Sabrina, so Andy, she wanted to leave anyway, because Andy was like, well, I don't have time. I don't have to take this. I'm leaving. And so Sabrina goes out, picks up the envelope and puts it on the table and leaves out with the girls. So they go out front. Zach is out there, standing out there with his phone in his hand with Aaron. Okay. So Aaron is like, why are you still here? You need to leave. Karen doesn't want you here. It's not good for the baby. You're doing this and you're doing that. And Zach was like, man, I ain't tripping off of her, and I sure ain't tripping off of you. I'm trying to make sure my girl at home so she don't come back and do nothing crazy. So Zach is just kind of pacing the ground, not looking like he's about to go back into the apartment, but he's waiting on Fatima to call or text him and say that she's in the house. Mind you, I'm like, well, why didn't y'all just ride together? I don't know. Maybe, I'm just thinking about saving time. Or I guess they like, I ain't trying to come back and get this car. So you drive your tail home and I'm going to be there to meet you. So Aaron and Zach are going back and forth, and Aaron is like, and Zach is like, don't talk to me. Don't say SHI to me. Okay. First of all, I don't understand why Zach is getting so highly upset with Aaron. Like, he's overly emotional with Aaron. If you're done with Karen, you ain't thinking about her. If anything, I would be patting Brother Man on the back to get him to keep on popping up. Do what you got to do to get this crazy lady off my back, because I ain't got time for her and her shenanigans. You go ahead and deal with her. I got my lady over here. I'm living my best life. Just let me know whether this is my baby or not, so I can know how to proceed, if you know what I mean. Okay? So they kind of go back and forth. All the ladies come outside. Andy is still in her feelings. She's like, well, Zach, if you're just here to make sure that Fatima doesn't come back, I'll stay here and I'll make sure Fatima doesn't go in there. And everybody's like, Andy, so you actually didn't do a good job when you were in there. So I don't think you're the best person to do that. So Andy is like, you know what? I don't have to take this. And she leaves. Girl, you wanted to leave anyway, because you wanted to go home so you can go and ride Gary into the sunset. Child, please. Andy is all about herself. She ain't thinking about nobody else but her damn self. Even though she so-called got the girls together to go over to Karen's house to check on her, she was just wasting time until Gary comes over her house. You ain't fooling us. Andy ain't thinking about nobody but Andy. So Andy goes home. Danny like, listen, friend, Zach, I don't know why you still here. Like, other than you going in there and you wanting to do whatever with Karen, like, why are you still here? And he was like, I told you, I'm waiting on Fatima to call me. So Danny like, listen, I ain't got time. I'm going on my date. Peace out. Y'all tripping. So Danny leaves. Sabrina is there. Sabrina sees that Zach's phone is going off. So it's Fatima obviously letting Zach know that she's in the house. So Zach is like, you a preacher, right? I thought you was a former alcoholic. But you smell like you got alcohol in your breath. What you over there doing? You back on the wagon? So Aaron is like, you need to mind your business. Don't worry about what I'm doing. So Zach like, well, my girl home. I'm out of here. I ain't got time for this. So Sabrina is standing there talking to Aaron, and Aaron is still trying to go back into the house. And Sabrina says, I got Karen. She's good. She's like, but Karen doesn't need all this drama. If you still drinking and stuff, then why are you even still here, like bringing her more anxiety and more things to worry about? He's like, with all due respect, Sabrina, you need to mind your business. Mind you, Aaron been telling everybody to mind their business. He told Danny that she is doing too much in the house and she need to mind her business. This don't have nothing to do with her, because Danny got a little upset, like, why do these men keep on coming over our houses and just unannounced? Danny, I'm gonna have to get you together, because I know you're not talking about nobody popping up over nobody's daggone house when you telling every Tom, Dick, and Harry where the heck you live, bringing every man back to your house. Okay, girl, bye. So you don't need to feel no type of way about nobody popping up over your house or anything, because you keep on bringing people back to your house. So that's another story. Okay, so you mind your business. That's all. You mind your business. All right. So Aaron said what he said to Danny. Now he's telling Sabrina to mind her business. Aaron, why don't you mind your business and stay home? Because it's obvious that Karen is always here, there, and everywhere with her emotions where it comes to you. But you all day and night, you got you working day and night looking for Karen. It's crazy. So Sabrina says, listen, put your number in my phone. I will call you if anything happens. I promise you. Like, we'll stay in contact over Karen. He's like, okay, all right, fine. I'll leave. So he leaves and goes wherever the hell he going to go stalk Karen's from the corner. And so Sabrina goes back in the house. Sabrina goes in the house. Karen still got the door wide open, and she's sitting there with her Glock 5000 on her lap. Okay. The piece is bigger than her hand. So Sabrina is like, what are you doing, Karen? Like, why is this door wide open? Like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm waiting for her to come back. I want her to come back. And Sabrina was like, no, you don't. You don't want that. Like, this is just getting ridiculous, Karen. You need to stop. Mind you, Sabrina, you are so soft. None of these girls tell Karen about herself. And that's the problem. I am sick of Karen doing and saying whatever she wants. Pregnancy is not what's holding this lady back from getting her top blown off, okay? This is just unbelievably disrespectful how she's acting. And no amount of emotions from a human growing inside of your body makes you act like that. This is just how nasty she is. Now, you sat up there and you telling Zach to come over and blow your back out, and you being all nice to him and whatnot, and he done told you he gonna pay for the thing, but then you start going ham on him when Fatima comes over. What did you expect? That's her man. He has a girlfriend. Like, he has a whole fiance. You don't care about that. Karen is just toxic, okay? So Sabrina is trying to talk some sense into Karen, and Karen don't want to hear it, okay? Mind you, what I was looking for Sabrina to say in this moment is, so girl, what is this blank piece of paper, and why did you do that? Why didn't Tyler Perry write that into the show? I need her to know that they know that that was some BS what she did. Why would you do that? What did you, and my thing is, what if Zach had to pick the envelope up? Let's just talk about that. What if Zach had to pick the envelope up and saw that it was nothing in the envelope? What was she gonna say? What was she gonna say? I really want to know what she was trying to accomplish with the blank piece of paper and showing it to him. Like, was that supposed to show that he's so in love with her, the fact that he even looked at the piece of paper, or that he picked up the envelope and looked? I don't know what was trying to be shown there. It just didn't make any sense. So anyway, Sabrina tells Karen she not leaving. Karen gets frustrated and go back into her room talking about she going to sleep. So Pam arrives and she sees some of the stuff that was going on. And Sabrina sits Pam down, like, oh, there's nothing going on here, nothing to see here. And Pam was like, girl, she was sitting there with a gat in her hand. What the heck are you talking about? Like, something ain't right up in here. And I came over here to check on her. You can go on about your business, but I'm gonna go in the room and see what the hell going on with sis. So Sabrina's like, you really don't want to do that. Let's just, I promise you, we got it handled. Let's get out of here. So Pam and Sabrina leave the apartment. I don't really, I'm still wondering, y'all, like, what was the, what was the envelope supposed to do? I don't get it. But moving on. Maurice and Calvin are at home, and Calvin talks to Maurice about how he's being selfish over the whole Sabrina situation, and he's taking it really worse than what Sabrina is. Sabrina's trying to be very zen about it, and Maurice just continues to seek revenge. He keeps talking about what he gonna have done to Q, how this, he realizes finally that this is all his fault. And he's like, Sabrina is a really sweet person. She doesn't deserve this. And he begins to start feeling bad. Like Calvin is really putting it on thick where it comes to Sabrina. And I get it, but Sabrina, you know what? I can't even put none of this on Sabrina because she didn't enable none of that stuff that Maurice did. I just feel like Maurice plays too much. He should have never been playing like that. That man would have never gotten a recording like that if he wasn't so sarcastic and always talking trash. So I just feel like he got Sabrina in the middle of this, and she literally had nothing to do with it. So he begins to start feeling bad after what Calvin is saying to him. And he's like, I'm gonna fix this. It's gonna be all right. So Calvin says, do what you want. No sense in crying about it now. Let's just see what happens. And Maurice tells Calvin to do him a favor and get his ugly furniture out of his house. I'm like, of course, there always has to be a comedic relief type of situation where it comes to Maurice. So Zach, in the next scene, Zach goes home and asks Fatima, why the heck did she even go over there? Now, Zach, you know why she went over there, sir. You know exactly why she went over there. She went over there because homegirl is extremely disrespectful. And I'm really getting sick and tired of Zach telling Karen over and over again that he loves her. I get it. You're telling her you love her just like you would tell your brother, your mama, your sister, your cousin, and all of that. But Karen is not taking it like that. You have to understand that this is a former lover that has not gotten over you yet. So you have to use common sense. Just because you feel like people should understand what you're saying in the context in which you're saying it, a lot of times it doesn't come out like that. If somebody still has feelings for you, you have to be considerate of how somebody is going to take the things that you say. So Zach continuing to say, oh, Karen, but I love you. Yes, I love you. And the love I have for Fatima is not the same as the love I have for you. Stop it, Zach. You're creating this drama between these two women. You really, really are. And it's really getting sad. So Fatima is sick of it. She's entirely sick of you playing in her face. So she said, you know what? You want to keep on playing around with her and telling her you love her and doing all this, that, and the third. And I'm trying to be respectful because this woman could be carrying a life inside of her. But I need her to know that what you're not going to do is play with me ever. So Zach is like, I get it. I understand that. But you know you're wrong, right? You shouldn't have never went over there. And she was like, why you ain't pick up the results? I wanted to know what's going on. Why you ain't pick up the envelope? He was like, I'm not picking up no envelope. That envelope ain't say nothing. She ain't got my DNA. So how would she know? Now, Zach, she could have had an old toothbrush and got your DNA like that. I don't know. But this makes me feel like Karen wanted him to come over there so that she could get his DNA. That's what I think. I think that she was hoping that Zach was going to come over there and dick her down something amazing, and she was going to collect a specimen, and that was how she was going to figure out who the father of her baby is. Because if it's not Aaron's baby for some reason, she obviously isn't very secure with saying, oh, okay, well, if it's not Aaron's, then it's Zach's. Who else baby could it be? So Karen got a lot of explaining to do. She trying to work some stuff out in her uterus and figure out whose owns what's up in there. Okay. So moving on, Fatima and Zach go back and forth over that. He tells her she's wrong, and then he's like, "Listen, don't go back over there. This is about me and you. It's about us. I'm not worrying about her. I'm not thinking about her. We'll cross that road if we find out if the baby is mine or not. But that kid is probably not mine. She ain't had nothing in that envelope. I'm pretty sure she ain't got my DNA. I ain't tripping off of her." Fatima's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna just go ahead and lay down here." And Zach is like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna sit here too. Make sure you don't get out of here." So he sits down in the chair so he can watch Fatima and make sure that she don't leave out in the middle of the night. And he's like, "And where's your purse? I got to make sure you ain't out here trying to commit some more crimes." So moving on, Hayden calls Gary. Now this whole scene was worthless. I just It's always one scene that's worthless in the show. So Hayden calls Gary. He's getting upset because Gary won't say what he want to hear. He says he's filed for the annulment. He's like, "But what should I do, man?" Gary already told you to get the annulment. Like, what? I don't understand what Hayden was wanting Gary to say in this moment. If he told you to get an annulment, you already know what he's telling you to do. He's telling you to move on or date the girl, whatever you want to do. So he's seeking some imaginary advice from Gary. And Gary's like, "What are you talking about? I told you what you should do. Get the annulment. You filed for it. Okay, move on. Like, what do you want?" He's like, "I'm just trying to get some advice from you, man." All right, child. Gary is just as annoyed as I am, so he gets off the phone. So moving on, Hayden goes in the house, and Tamara is in there with her, lady of the night clothing on. She has her, you know, nightgown on, trying to be all sexy and sensual for her man. Okay. He comes in and he's like, "Wow, you look good." She's like, "Yes, I just want to look good for you. And I just love being able to say that you're my husband and blah, blah, blah." He says, "We got to talk." So he eventually comes out and tells her that he wants to get the marriage annulled. And she's like, "Why? Like, I'm happy. Aren't you happy? Like, aren't you happy? I want to be able to call you my husband." He's like, "Yeah, but it's just not long enough. We've only known each other for like 3 days. Like, and we're all, first of all, you the one wanted to swoop her away and take her on a vacation. You should have never agreed to marry the girl." So now she's all upset. She was like, "Well, why can't you just let it go and just let us get to know each? Like, we can just wait some more time." And he's like, "No, we gotta, He was like, "It's not that I don't want to be with you. It's just the marriage part. Like, I think it's too soon." So she says, "I'm going to bed." So she go to bed and she's like, "And I'm moving out in the morning." I'm like, "Girl, you known this man for 3 days. You just trying to get his coins." Or maybe she really like him at this point. Who knows with this old dingbat. But moving on, Danny and Preston go out to eat. And he asks her if anything's wrong because she ain't really eating any of her food. And she's like, "Oh, I'm just watching my figure." And he says, "Well, you just let me do that." So then she says, "Well, it's just the stuff going on with Karen and Zach." So he's like, "Yeah, tell me about it." And she's like, "What you mean?" And so he was like, "Yeah, I kind of noticed how Zach kind of disregarded Fatima and was just so worried about Karen. I just thought that was messed up." And she was like, "Oh, you noticed that? So you notice all this stuff about them, but you don't never notice nothing in our relationship." He's like, "Come on now. That's not true. And I've never publicly embarrassed you like that. And I would never, outwardly do anything like in public to you like that. And I would have conversations with you in private." And she's like, whatever. He was like, "You just obviously trying to find a problem and find something to argue with me over." And I feel like Danny was doing that because I can't stand when somebody sees something else going on in somebody else's relationship. And then you want to come back and say and relate it to your own relationship. And now your partner is in trouble over some shit that they ain't even have nothing to do with. Like, I just think that that's ridiculous that we do that sometimes as women. Hell, sometimes men probably do it too, child. But moving on, Danny and Preston come to the conclusion that they both agree with the fact that Preston noticed that he wasn't being attentive to Fatima, and he could possibly he's absolutely leading Karen on. So moving on, Sabrina calls Andy. Andy is upset because she feels like Karen talked to her crazy and she's a good friend to her and she don't deserve that. She's like, I really want an apology. And Sabrina was like, well, you want me to come over? How are you feeling? And Andy was like, well, no, because Gary's coming up. So I got to talk to you later. And Sabrina's like, okay, well, I'm going to go over Karen's house and check on her in a little bit. And she's like, tell her, Andy's like, yeah, and tell her she needs to apologize to me. I'm like, girl, you ain't thinking about Karen. You up in the house with your negligee on. I mean, with your lacy shirt on, looking like you about to try to get your groove on. I'm not thinking about humping on nobody's son when something like that happened with my friend. Why is that your remedy to everything that you do? So Gary comes in and he's trying to console Andy because he can see that something's wrong with her. She's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to, I'm trying to make you feel better. I'm trying to console you. And she's like, we're past that. He's like, what do you mean we're past that? And I'm like, yeah, what do you mean, Andy? When did y'all get past that? So I guess she really leaning into this whole I just want you around for the D type of stuff. So he's like, so you really did mean that when you were talking about something, you just want to use me for my peen or whatever. And she was like, yeah, I told you that. And he's like, I'm starting to see a new side of you. And I don't like that. I don't like this person that you are. And she's like, oh, really? So you don't like when somebody tries to like crowd your space and control you, and once they've consumed you, then they're just going to do everything they can to just control you, all this stuff. Basically, she's describing him and saying that that's what they both seem to have been doing to each other. And I'm like, Andy, you're not trying. You really. Andy is so confused. I don't even know what Andy wants out of this. She don't want to let Gary go, but then she don't want to move forward with him. She likes when he's buying her stuff. She's so confusing. I don't know what type of woman Andy represents, but Tyler Perry better get a better definition of women because Andy ain't it. She's definitely not it. And I just don't like how he's making her. She's such an intelligent woman. She has a high powered career, but she's so dumb in relationships. Well, this relationship in particular. I just don't get it. I think she's selling herself short where it comes to Gary. And I don't appreciate how he's trying to make Gary look like the reasonable party in this situation, where he's like, oh, I don't even know you anymore. Like, who have you, but I don't like what you've become, and you're not the person that I thought you were. I thought you was the smartest person, and you were just so I thought you were perfect. Gary, what are you? You're trash. Because even don't think you slick. We didn't forget when you was sleeping with that girl, okay? When Andy had her little twa session with Robin, the girl that they had the threesome with, Gary slept with her too. So I'm like, Gary, you're lying. You out here dipping and doing whatever you doing. And she's like, maybe it's because I'm approaching 40. I don't know if my significant other is out here cheating on me. I don't know what he's doing, and this, that, and the third. And then he's like, well, whatever. And he's like, nobody else is going to do it like I do. And so Andy picks up the phone and says she gonna call somebody else that's gonna dick her down if he ain't gonna give it to her. And so he says, well, whoever you call, just know they're not going to do it as well as I do. And she was like, yeah, and they're probably not going to manipulate me the way that you do too. I'm like, both of y'all are just full of crap. I'm about sick of both of y'all in this relationship already. I think that Tyler Perry is just trying to find a way to keep Gary on this show because he likes Gary, I guess. And so he's trying to figure out a way to work around the character. But at this point, Gary's character has gone its course. I feel like the characters that need to go right now, Gary, I'm sorry, Calvin, Q can go. Hell, and even in some situations, Maurice can go too. Unless they go back to the bank and he can just be comedic relief, and unless they're going to try to dive deeper into his story. I don't really see. I don't know why Calvin, Gary, or Q are on this show. It's just a waste of time. And Preston is in a relationship with Danny right now, but the minute that he not, that character can go too. So I don't know. But moving on. Andy, you dumb. So in the last scene, Maurice goes into the police station to talk to the lawyer that's dealing with the case. Now, mind you, this man is not the lawyer. What is he? Is he a cop, a lawyer, a detective? His character done changed 11,000 times. So Maurice calls him a lawyer in this scene, but I thought he was the detective. Okay. So he comes in there and says, Sabrina had nothing to do with it. It was me and Q. So I don't know what angle they trying to take with this whole situation, but this is about to get real interesting. Tyler, I see what you're doing. See what you're doing. You're trying to pull us back into the foolishness, and it's working. Let me get into some of y'all comments. Shan says, hey, what's up, Shan? Shan says, child, Fatima gave me life. She did what she needed to make Karen understand. Absolutely, says Artrell Palmer. And I agree. I agree. Fatima needed to go in there and make it very clear to Karen that, listen, this ain't what we about to be doing, ever. Okay, ever. You will not disrespect me. Okay. Okay. No more of this. We're not about to pussyfoot around your emotions because you pregnant and all. None of that. That ain't happening. Shan says, Karen, you the one who left the door open. Right, exactly. Exactly. For my man. All right. Girl, don't ever leave no door open for anybody that I'm dealing with. What was her problem? And did she really think that she was laying up there looking sexy in that long t-shirt? That was just a mess. Shan says, yes, after that, if I was Andy, I'm gonna boo. I'm going, I'm gone, boo. We not friends. Yeah. Because what you're not about to do is tell me who I can be friends with. Absolutely not. Sheila Jackson says, Karen, we had the bathroom, and Zach said that was 3 years ago. Absolutely. She's always lying. She lied, which remember when Fatima came to Andy's place that first time Karen lied. And she said that something about her and Zach did something. And then the girls were like, Karen, that's a lie. That's not true. We can't let you sit up here and lie. So she always lying. Artrell Palmer says she tried to warn them. Absolutely. 100%. Definitely. Shan says, I don't like the way Karen treats Andy. Something is wrong. Maybe this 2-year pregnancy is messing with her brain. Not the 2-year pregnancy, Shan. I'm going to get you. Sheila Jackson says, I was bopping Karen for Fatima. Girl, yes, I was windmilling through the TV. I said, I know she lying, child. I know she lying. Queen T says Zach wasn't coming to that rainbow bright little girl party apartment. Well, hell, he was living in there at one point, but he didn't got to find the things in life. He ain't thinking about her. Shan says Zach doesn't want that baby. He definitely doesn't. At this point, he has enough going on with the son that he has confirmed that is his. There's enough drama over there. Honestly, Tyler Perry, we don't need it to be Zach's baby at this point. It's enough drama drummed up for Zatima. It's enough where we can, get our feel over there. We don't need to oversaturate it with Zach being the dad of Karen's kid too. It's just not needed. It's unneeded, unwarranted, and we don't need it. Shan says, I agree. Karen was trying to get him to pay more attention to her than he did Fatima. But Zach was giving Fatima the attention because he messed her up last time when he ignored her. Now that makes sense for what was going on in that scene because I just really didn't understand it. I think, and that makes sense. Maybe Tyler Perry was trying to get Zach's character to redeem himself because he gave Karen so much attention in that last scene, and she really soaked it all up and was like, nanny boo boo. Now Fatima was staring. You notice how Fatima was staring at Karen the whole time, as if to say, okay, I was standing there dormant the last time staring at you. Now I'm staring at you because I'm letting you see that he is into me and not you. And I like that. I think that that's a good assessment of what happened. Queen T says she wanted him so bad it's sad, but he brought that on himself. He did because he keeps on playing mind games with her. You can't keep on saying you love her. You can't keep on giving her hope because she's taking it for granted. Shan says men don't realize when they do that dumb stuff and be leading women on, be leading women on, but I would have never thought he wanted me back because he cared. Right? Like, actions speak louder than words for me. I'm not going to sit up here and trick myself into thinking that this man wants me and he's not doing anything to indicate that. Words can mean a lot of things. Actions are what shows the definition of the words, okay? Artrell Palmer says she is definitely tripping. He weak. For sure. For sure. Where's the stomach, Tyler Perry, says Queen T. Child, we've been looking all over the rivers and lakes that we're used to looking for it, okay? Shan says, I'm going to save my theory for later in the review. Oh, okay, girl. Let me know. Let me know. Bluff City Girl 1 says, I don't believe it's Zach's baby. I think Karen really wants it to be Zach's baby, which is why that paper was blank. Child. What did she, like, I just really don't understand. What was she going to do once he realized that the paper said nothing and it was fake? Shan said, how far along? I'd like to... How far along is she, though 9 months been up a long time ago? Absolutely. But guess what? They said 3 days for Hayden and Tamara. So we have really been literally living 3 weeks, right? I think it's been a total of maybe 3 to 6 weeks on the episodes for 6 seasons. That's what we've been living through. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Queen T says, I'm telling you, she been pregnant for 20 months. Child, I was watching Our Entertainment's channel. He's another very good content creator that reports on Sistas, and he said that he can confirm that Karen will have a belly in season 7. I'm like, well, damn, finally. I mean, why she can't have a belly in the second half of this season? I don't get it. Christine Williams says, I don't believe Karen is pregnant. She's playing mind games because she knows Fatima's insecure about her position. Yeah, because why are you bringing blank pieces of paper out? I still like this blank, y'all. This blank piece of paper is throwing me for a loop. I just can't. That was just a monkey wrench in the plan. Queen T says, I'm tired of them dressing Danny in them two little child. Queen T, we is together. First of all, those shoes that she had on looked like they was too small and she couldn't walk in them. And she was busting out. It was a busted baby. Okay, I don't know what the heck. They need to shop for her size, okay? Or let her bring some clothes from her closet. I'm sure she got a nice wardrobe because the stuff that y'all got on set for her is not working, okay? I'm tired of them dressing Danny in them two little clothes that making her look like she's stuffed in them. Yeah, it's like a stuffed pepper, honey. Christina Williams says, I want TP to give Fatima at least 5 minutes alone with Karen once they find out she's not pregnant. Yes, hell, he need to give all of us 5 minutes alone with that character, okay? Bluff City Girl 1 says, Tyler Perry be killing me with these same day seasons. Right. Like, why are we living through the same day for a whole season? It's ridiculous. Queen T says, exactly, because I don't think she is. I don't know. But once he said, the Our Entertainment guy, he said that she is going to show a belly in season 7. Now, I don't know where it's going to come from or whatever, but child, she could be faking it. Who knows? Queen T says, I just want to know, do any of y'all wonder why they keep them dressed up all the time? Us as women do dress down at times in casual clothes or sweats and jeans. Yeah, like, I mean, Andy is always going to work. I think Fatima is the only one that kind of dresses down because she had jeans on in the episode last night. And Danny does dress down sometimes, but Sabrina always looked like she dressed up and has a pair of heels on. But I'm like, damn, do any of them own a pair of tennis shoes? I'm just saying. I don't know. Shan says, but that's a good observation. Shan says, I think Aaron going to have a bad alcohol setback and then Karen going to be a single mom. Child, something going to happen. Something's going to happen because I believe that it is Aaron's baby, but she going to try to figure out a way to try to make this kid Zach some kind of way because she is just crazy as a June bug. Shan says at Queen T because that's how Tyler sees us. Like we always got to get dolled up just to leave the house if we're professional women. When in reality, I loves me a good pair of yoga pants and a t-shirt. Child, abso-freaking-lutely. Heck, I just came from my step class. The neck all stretched out, but hell, I got on a t-shirt and some daggone leggings right now. Okay, and that's typically what I have on around my house, or if I'm going out running some errands. I love me a pair. Like I literally probably own more than 50 pair of tennis shoes. Literally. I have more tennis shoes than I have of anything. So, Tyler Perry, you can show these women dressed down. What professional stats dressed up all day stays dressed up all day? Some days I took my suit off at work and drove home in my yoga pants. Child, indeed, you and me both. Christina Williams says, I agree 100%. Nobody goes off on Karen like a real friend group would. That lets me know that TP hasn't been around women like that in real life. No, he hasn't. Not in this capacity where you can be honest. And he's not allowing their friends, the friend group, to be honest. And I don't like that. It's getting very annoying. Shan says, exactly, Christina, my friends know I will get them together. I ain't going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to tell you, you trip at home, girl. Absolutely, because I'm not going to sit there and my thing is, I'm not going to have you out here looking dumb. If you're my friend, it's my duty to tell you the truth. I'm not going to sit up here and pacify you, because pacifying you is not going to make you better. Christina Williams says, Karen wanted Zach to come over to get her pregnant because she's not pregnant now. I'm fully convinced that she had a false positive pregnancy test. Child, we going to see. Shan, I told you maybe it's that one chocolate guy's baby. Yeah, I think so too. Like that guy that she used to, that was like her booty call or whatever. It probably is. Shan says, exactly. It was kind of good till Hayden seen. Hayden, that one friend that don't listen to the good advice. Right. And he a man. Child. Christina Williams says, and don't like that man no more and love that for Gary. Yeah, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of the Gary and Andy thing. Like, let it go. Exactly. Like, Gary wasn't a whole married man when they met. Right. And you up here being righteous and sanctified. Boy, please. And when they met, Gary is definitely a scumbucket. And yeah, sitting up here trying to tell her about herself. You know what? Men really are a piece of work. Because you can sit up here and do everything under the sun, but the woman is supposed to be so pure and perfect for you. But you out here dicking and doing whoever you want. Dickety do I, dickety yay. That's what y'all do. Sick of it. Child, I thought it was just me. I'm like, isn't that the detective? Right, his character done changed 50,000 times. Rajaya McCrary says, I don't think Robin is going to be in this season because I heard Andy is going to get another love interest. So I kind of lost hope. Yeah, I'm hoping Robin does come back because I did like the Robin and Andy situation. Like, I wonder if he's doing a movie or something and that's why he hasn't shown back up the character. But yeah, I'm like, how many love interests is she going to have for her to keep on going back to Gary? Like, I want her to leave Gary alone once and for all. But it's supposed to be something where, child, Gary, these are a little bit of spoilers that I've heard of. I don't know how true it is. Okay, so this is alleged. I'm just going, these are spoiler alerts. So it's supposed to, the season is supposed to develop into season 7, where apparently we're going to find out that Gary this whole time has had some girl on the side and she's pregnant. And Andy doesn't know, but then she ends up marrying Gary. So I don't know where this other love interest is supposed to come in, where maybe Gary steals her from the love interest or something. Who knows? But this is just all, the sister hemisphere is about to blow up. Shan says, my theory is Aaron is going to get a bigger story once the baby is said to be his. Karen is going to blame him for be blamed for Aaron's downfall. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is really going to be interesting because, you know, I hope that's not the case. Because it's not Karen's fault that Aaron decided to make her his new addiction. Because that's what it seems like. Aaron is addicted to Karen. He must be used to women kind of giving of themselves to him. And he just doesn't understand why he just can't get this one woman to just bow down to his amazingness and how good of a guy he is, right? So it's something going on there, you know, and I don't like it. I don't like it. But y'all, stay tuned because I feel like the show is going to get better. Maybe Tyler Perry might be trying to get some. He been talking to some people and he gonna get some writers behind the scenes. Some of the stuff is still a little jacked up, but with the writer strike and all this stuff that's going on, and Tyler Perry writing his own shows. This is the only reason why I'm kind of glad that he's writing his own shows right now. But I still want him to get some writers on the show. I still want him to get some other input because his he doesn't have the mindset of a female, and this show is centered around sisters, right? And this ain't it. I would not do any of the stuff that any of these women are doing. But y'all, thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share your thoughts on this episode. Let me know. Do you really think Karen is pregnant? What do y'all expect to see for the rest of the season? Is Danny and Preston really gonna last? And is Andy and Gary finally gonna let it go? I don't know, y'all, but stay tuned. I'll see you in the next episode, in the next video. Peace out.